50,000 elderly people in Wales will spend Christmas Day alone this year, according to Age Cymru. With an ageing population, that number's only going to get bigger as time goes on. That's unless more volunteers step in to help. Contact the Elderly is the only charity in the UK that's dedicated solely to helping older people feel less alone. Cardiff Community Couch went along to one of their biggest events of the year in Cardiff, the annual Christmas dinner party. Volunteer coordinator Kate Housley told me a little bit about what Contact the Elderly does.
It was set up by a gentleman called Trevor Littleton, and he set it up because he noticed somebody in the area he was living was on her own all the time, and he decided he would take her out to tea. And from that tiny seed, this huge charity's grown. If you're a volunteer host, you probably will host tea once a year. If you're a volunteer driver, you will drive somebody one afternoon a month. And for myself as a group organiser, probably a couple of hours a month just putting people together with their drivers and arranging for them to be in the right place.
So you say it's not really a big demand on people's time?
That's right, and I think it's the absolute simplicity of what we do and that focus on just one thing that makes it really easy for people to commit to it.
At the party, there were roast potatoes, Christmas pudding, and even carol singing after the meal. There was even a surprise visit from a special guest. The elderly people at the party told me what a difference the charity has made to their lives.
We're not like ours, when we're 30s and 40s, we've got plenty to do. I mean, when you get old, at my age, 81, well, you wonder what on earth you do with your time. I feel myself, unless you make the effort yourself, unless you're lucky enough to be invited, I mean, you spend your life sitting at home watching television.
I lost my husband, son. I was in a terrible state. The only thing that would bring me out was get me out, and I didn't want to go out. So my daughter heard of this, and she came down here, and it's the best thing I ever done.
It's not just the elderly who benefit, though. The volunteers enjoy the tea parties just as much.
For most of these people, most of the elderly ladies, most of them are ladies actually, there are very few gentlemen. It's the only time a month when they get out, and it means quite a lot to them because they're very isolated and lonely, usually have no family around. So it was quite important that we felt we'd do something, worthwhile. It's just this nice feeling, this kind of this warmth inside you after every single tea party when you see the guests leave with a big smile on their faces, and then you know that they'll have this memory. It's just a nice feeling, that's it really.
If you think you'd like to throw your own tea party or be a driver, download the volunteer application form from the Contact the Elderly website, or you can call for free on 0800 746 543.